Countryside. It's Joe Smith, your general manager, and Scott Ortiz, your clubhouse manager. And today is Monday, July 7th.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Happy 4th of July, Scott.
Right back at you, Joe.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a nice weekend. Thank you
Safe
for asking.
holiday?
I did. I've still got all these guys in place, so
it's important.
Stayed far away. Wasn't near any fireworks factories or anything like that. Hopefully everybody out here in Countryside had a nice 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
You know?
And I hope everyone has their calendars marked for next 4th of July. Because, as we're moving in still, we've been brainstorming what next year's going to look like around the pool and this whole.
It's pretty planned out already, so we're pretty excited about it. Yeah.
So,
not that there's a lot of stuff that's not going to happen in between now
there's
and
a ton,
then, but we're looking a year out and then working our way backwards. I think that's kind of what we've come down to.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
So, couple updates in this week's video, and we're going to show you a couple different areas of the club and kind of how things are shaping up. But before we get into the nitty gritty, another special announcement. Tomorrow, July 8th.
What you got?
George Greenwood's birthday.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday, Mr. Greenwood.
Happy birthday.
I know you were hoping to have a birthday lunch here at the club.
Yeah.
We are a week behind.
Exactly.
And I'll kind of give an update as to where we're at with timing, but wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
That's outstanding. Little shout out.
Little shout out. Yeah.
Had a couple of requests for that, I think.
We always do. We
always do.
Awesome. Okay, so Scott, let's see. We got the team behind us here. Last week, we were talking about plateware coming in.
Yes.
They're working on silverware right
silverware just came in. So back door opened up, pallet full of brand new silverware.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah, so they're breaking out cases upon cases, dozens and dozens and dozens of dinner forks and salad forks and teaspoons and soup spoons and dinner knives. So all that stuff, brand new, replaced all the prior silverware that we had that I think might have been in the club since the beginning. I'm not sure.
It was pretty old.
It's a little bit old, yeah. So this is some nice stuff, some brand new stuff. So we're going to kind of bring that into play here. So they're breaking all that out so we can get it into the dishwasher, get that nice and clean, get it nice and polished, start doing some roll-ups next week.
Get ready,
this week, actually. We've got linen coming in tomorrow. So we'll start doing some lunch roll-ups and get those stuff into...
So the focus this week is really to... Well, let's back up. Last week, we fired up our kitchen equipment.
We did,
We passed our fire inspection in the kitchen, so Jay is now running the equipment through its paces. We've got some product coming in the door. We've got plateware, we've got silverware. You're starting to get some liquor and beer and wine in.
We had some beer that, I think we're going to take a peek here in a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry if
we're going to take a peek
lifted
in there.
the curtain there a little bit. But so we got some of our beer in. Got it in the beer cooler. We got some bottles put away behind the Lakeview Lounge Bar.
Beautiful.
We'll have our kegs set up as soon as the towers are put in back behind.
Which will be this week.
On those islands, we'll get our kegs set up so that we can get draft beer set up through the lines that are underneath the ground like we've been talking about for I think 2 years now. So we're excited to get that going. That product came in. Chef's got food, so I think a lot of people are going to start seeing some heavy-duty deliveries start coming through, which we haven't had for a little while now, just because we were starting to wind down at Camp Countryside, and then once we started moving into the clubhouse, we really couldn't bring anything to the building yet. So having that start showing up. Menus are set, so they're just going to start working the kinks out on the new equipment and seeing how that
point of sale, printers, everything's working.
We've been messing around with that stuff for sure.
So this week is really like final operations prep, if you will.
And this week now we're going to start seeing some of our, I don't know if anybody can see back here, we got a couple of our new team members that are back. I think there might be some people you might not recognize, or you might because they came back. But we've got some additional team members going to be joining us this week, just so we can start finalizing, where everything's going for sure. And then it'll move about 20 more times before we really get going. But we're going to do that. Then we've got some training that we're going to do. We're going to start doing some food testing. So the team gets a chance to see what menu items actually look like coming out of the kitchen. So that's one of the things that's always really important to us. So we'll get that going this week as well. So we'll be ready to go heading into...
Hopefully the week of the 14th. So just as a quick kind of a big picture overview, Countryside. I think we've gotten past the hurdle for some of the major inspections. We've got a few more final inspections that we're trying to line up to close out this week.
Good.
The inside bar is pretty much 100% put together. There's some little detail work we're finalizing inside. And really the biggest item that is somewhat of a concern, if you will, are these pool gates and getting these installed. They are custom fabrication. We ended up needing crash bars on them, so we're working with the subcontractors in Heatherwood to expedite that as quickly as possible. But if everything lines up, we're really hoping to be able to occupy the building and open the doors to members the week of the 14th, so essentially next week. And as we've said, probably open for lunch service first.
Sure.
Focus on getting the kinks worked out with that.
Exactly.
And then expand the services as we, continue to grow our team and get settled into the club.
Man. Yeah, so that's the plan.
Space inside is looking really cool.
Yeah.
We've got our TVs up. Again, bars are looking great. The pool looks incredible.
Yeah, man.
We're settled into the office spaces, so it's starting to come together.
It's exciting, man.
Scott, I'm seeing some really cool stuff. Like this is something that is really cool looking.
Exactly. It looks questionable because you're like, well,
I'm not sure what
could
this
that
is,
be,
but
right?
tell me what this is.
So this is actually just our oil and vinegar cruet, right? So it houses oil on this side, so you'll see olive oil kind of throughout, but you'll be able to see through the olive oil to get to either balsamic vinegar or red wine vinegar that'll run through the middle there. Yeah, so just a little
from the outside, you see both liquids together, but they're separated on the inside. That's really cool.
You have the ability to control how much you want to take out of it. But yeah, that's just one of the things that we've been planning this for quite a while, Joe. So we had some time to think of some fun things.
I was going to say, is you guys, over the last 2 years, you and Jay and Andy and the team have really dove into what's available and what kind of the cool new items, and table service.
Items we had some stuff obviously still on hand, right, and things that we wanted to get back into circulation once we get back into the clubhouse, but we have some things that we needed to replace, items that have been here for quite a while, and this thing, lucky enough, kind of comes with a little ability to kind of use it as a medallion for a chain if anybody would like to. I think that's something I might just walk around with from time to time. If anybody needs any olive oil and vinegar, I'll have it right here. So it's exciting. It's a fun thing, right?
That's service if I wouldn't know that.
No, it's outstanding, man. Hey, there's a couple other spots we wanted to show, I think, if you want to
jump around over there?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, where do you want to go first?
Let's go keg cooler. Let's go to the beer and wine cooler, right?
All right.
Awesome, man.
Let's do that.
We'll see you guys inside.
Scott, I feel like we've been bragging about this for 2.5 years.
Sure, man. It's been something that we've been really excited about also. So, yeah, it's definitely something to brag about. 20-some years in the club business, I've never had this. Excellent.
It's really neat.
Yeah, man.
Previously, our keg storage shared space with Chef Jay's desserts,
some breads, some pastries, right?
So, and it was a cooler about half the size of this.
Exactly. And it was a lot of it was kind of a small cage, probably a little bit smaller than this shelving unit right here that housed all of our bottled wine that had been broken out of cases and all of our cases of beer, 12 packs of beer. So
and backup kegs.
And our backup kegs, exactly. Backup kegs would just be on the ground along the side here. So the fact that we have places to kind of house all that now, can't quite see this side of the cooler, but this is pretty well stocked right now. We've obviously still got more product coming in, but we wanted to start off with something that's somewhat manageable.
Yeah.
We haven't stocked up the pool cafe yet.
Right.
But we started kind of stocking up bottled beer and the Lakeview Lounge. Got to bring wine out there still, but that's something we've kind of held off on for a little bit. So
this whole system here, this is all for draft beer.
Yes, sir.
These lines, as you said, are all fed under the slab to each bar.
Yes.
And essentially, our beer deliveries come right into this cooler.
Yep.
They get hooked up here.
Exactly.
They never have to go out to the dining rooms or go out to the bars.
Exactly.
And all the beer is fed through these lines that are chilled. There's a chiller line that goes through this entire conduit.
Exactly.
So everything's cold.
Yep.
The way the system, from what I understand, the way the system's pressurized, you know, when you switch a keg, you don't get any air into the line, so you don't have that foam.
Exactly. That initial almost pitcher.
I mean,
waste,
it's really, really cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So tell me, how many beers are we going to have?
Sure. So each bar will have 9 of the same. We're going to mirror the beers to start off with, the same at both bars, right? Okay. We've got a nice beer drinking crowd, but we don't have like 16 or 32 different kinds of draft type crowd yet, So we're going to start with 8, but really it winds up being 9. We're going to have 1 Guinness tap at each bar, because we've got 2, like the tower that we have for the taps is mirrored itself as well. So there's kind of taps on both sides of the bar. So 2 bartenders can conceivably pull from either side, right? So one of those sides is going to have Guinness on it. Okay. The other side will have an additional beer. So technically we're going to have 9 draft beers that'll be hooked up at all times. One of those included is Guinness, like we said, which is hooked up through a nitrous system rather than a regular CO2 system. So that's really cool in itself, is ready to be able to have Guinness on tap. We know that was real popular when we had it before moving out of the Clubhouse. But some of the other ones we're kind of starting off with, we're going to go with Blue Moon on tap, which we haven't had. We got Miller Lite, which I know is a real popular. Stella is always a real popular one. We still have Yingling. We have an IPA. We're going to try and do a couple local ones. So we've got Anchor Lab, which is out of here in Naples. We've got Fort Myers Brewery has got a nice one as well. And then we've got one that we're going to pour, I believe it's Florida City as well. So we're going to try and do some local ones on a rotating basis.
Yeah, we have the flexibility to change stuff out or expand. Or
the ones that are real popular, obviously, will be on Stella, Yingling, Mick Ultra. Those are always the real popular ones. Guinness is one that people really like having the ability to have. So stuff like that will be in there on a regular basis, but we'll have the ability to rotate some new stuff in and out.
Awesome.
Yeah,
well, this is a great space.
Yeah.
This is the corner of the dining room where the Seaside Bar used to be. Great use of the space. Yeah. It's going to add the member experience. It's going to pick up some big efficiencies from an operation standpoint. Just in terms of not having to carry these kegs out to the bars, and I mean, this was
between the 2 shelving, the bottom and the top shelf, we'll be able to have a keg tapped up top with a backup down below. Yeah. So once this one runs out, we're just unhooking and then hooking up the new one down below.
Very cool.
So it's just a quick changeover and keeps things moving.
All right.
Keeps everybody who's thirsty nice and quenched,
So I want to stick with the drink theme.
Excellent.
And talk about what's in the lobby.
Awesome, man. Let's go check it out.
Can we go out there?
Let's do it.
All right. So keeping with our beverage theme, Scott.
Perfect, Joe.
This area is still being assembled.
Exactly. But
we're in the lobby.
Yes.
This is 1/3 of our wine display.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me what we have here.
Just the last couple of days, we've seen the Heatherwood team kind of starting to assemble this portion of the wine display. And just like you said, that's exactly what it is. This is our kind of full display. I tell you what, the more we saw this going in, the more I think Andy and myself started thinking about the idea of the amount of inventory on hand to be able to display out here, and the fact that it's probably more in this little case, this case, than we had prior, completely in the liquor room, right, for wine. So
one of the things we really put a lot of effort into, and thank you to the committee and our architect for designing the space, is usable storage space.
Yeah.
And then also spaces like these that provide storage for you and the team, but also provide an aesthetic feature to the club.
A little show off of what we'll have available.
Exactly. This is really cool.
Sure. So
I think there's about 160 bottles in each of these 3 sections.
Yeah.
It's obviously backlit. And we have some custom doors coming.
Yes, which I know are a little bit out.
They are, yeah.
So this will be kind of partially done by the time we get into the building, up and running. But you'll get a really good idea of what it's going to look like as we, move towards complete project finish here. So it's really cool to take a look at this and see finally kind of come into where it's going to be.
As you come into the lobby, and we've shown some videos. The lobby space is just very grand.
Yeah.
It's bright, it's elegant, and then you have a feature like this, across from the administration office. That's really just
world of difference.
Gorgeous.
So bright in here, just really welcoming, and a place for members to be able to come and be excited to visit.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. So, again, a little sneak peek for you, Countryside. We're getting close. This past week, as we said, finalizing some stuff with our install with our contractors. We've got Coke back out here. We've got our beer guys back out here.
CO2 finishing up this week. Yeah, so there's some
CO2. Countertops are installed. We're expecting the pool cafe bar top later this week.
Awesome, man.
So this is a really crucial week for us. We're pushing to close things out and hopefully be able to open the doors to everybody sometime the week of the 14th.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the fact that we're getting product into places where they need to be. Once we're up and running, that's a good sign, and the sign that kind of shows us and the rest of the team that we're almost there. We're getting close.
So just a couple quick reminders before we leave you. As we said earlier, golf course is closed. Pro Shop is still open until noon, so if you need to make reciprocal tee times or get your bags out of storage, that team is available during the closure. And then again, the Clubhouse, we are still under a TCO, so there's no activity or member activity permitted in the Clubhouse. So we are available by email. If you need a RAD or anything from the administration office, you can certainly call us, send us an email, complete the form online, and we'll have it available for pickup in the Pro Shop. And again, hopefully this is the last week for that process, and we're really excited to get everybody in here.
We're getting there.
Put your eyes on these spaces because they're pretty awesome. So close it out there, Scott.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
We appreciate it.
More exciting updates to come. Countryside, questions, comments, send them our way. Otherwise, we hope to see you in this space real soon. Thank you.